Social, emotional learning, it's the new wave, where culturally responsive meets innovation.
Hey, Resilient ones. My name is Kristen Hopkins, founder of the Dangers of the Mind Education Fund and creator of Black SEL. I'm a social and emotional expert, curriculum developer, and social entrepreneur who believes in the holistic development of Black youth and adults through culturally responsive and affirming resources. Welcome to the Black SEL podcast, formerly known as Dangers of the Mind. Welcome to Black SEL, Blackity Black, the social and emotional hub for Black people. Listen, welcome to the Black SEL podcast. And here at Black SEL, we open up a space for Black people to share their experiences and expertise, be vulnerable, and also highlight key social and emotional skills. And our goal is to make SEL relatable, tangible, and sustainable in our Black communities. So today's guest is no other than my friend, Tonya Lane, the natural hair guru. Okay, so before we get into this episode, I have to read her bio and let y'all know all the fizzy facts about Tonya, okay? Because she is like that, well-educated Black woman, Black girl magic over here. So her formal education includes a bachelor's and a master's in science and chemistry from North Carolina Central University. Okay. Her passion for creating products for curly hair has provided opportunities for her to work with billion-dollar companies, creating beautifully formulated hair and skin products. Listen, this is no small thing, y'all. Can I read that one more time? I'm going to read it one more time. Her passion for creating products for curly hair has provided opportunities for her to work with billion-dollar companies, creating beautiful formulas for hair and skin products. On her successful social media platforms such as Instagram and YouTube, which has grown past 100,000 subscribers and followers, she teaches the world how to care for their natural hair using the same chemistries that she is going to tell us about today. Some of these chemistries. So, welcome to Black SEL.
Blackity black, blackity black.
Oh, she got it! Yes, okay. So I'm so excited to have you here, my friend. First of all, my friend is looking so fly. Look, like the sneaks. Put the sneaks up in the camera.
You see the
Look at the sneaks. You know, she got fly. You know what I'm saying? She just fly all around, just looking good. Just Black girl magic. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Good.
I'm feeling liberated. I'm feeling great.
That's how we like to feel, you know, especially with good Black History Month. So,
exactly. Yes.
So I'm so excited to be with you today for multiple reasons. I am so excited to publicly just say how inspiring you've been to me. I remember when we sat down, it was like 2 Novembers ago. And you already know where I'm going. Yep. We sat down and you were like, first, there's 2 things you told me. You said, sis, I'm about to get serious with my YouTube channel. Yep. I'm about to start recording every day. I'm about to start dropping this knowledge. I'm about to take this serious. I'm about to be consistent. And when I tell y'all, she did just that. Like, I don't even remember how many followers you had now. Like, I mean, I think it might have been like 4,000. No, for real. Like, it was like something very small compared to where she is now. Like over 100,000 on her Instagram page. Or how many do you have on YouTube?
On YouTube, currently it's 187,000.
187,000 on YouTube. And how many, like, that's just followers or subscribers. What are your listener viewers looking
My
like?
views?
Their
Oh my
views.
gosh. Views currently around over 10 million.
It's
to be.
amazing.
Yeah.
So when I tell you she's reaching the nations,
Right.
sis is reaching the nations. And
Right.
I am so proud because
Thank
it
you.
was discipline, it was consistency, it was hard work, it was strategy, and it was all things Black SEL.
Period.
So we're going to talk about those things today. But I'm just like really excited to dive into this episode. And the other thing before we get started is sis told me about 2 years ago that she wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. Yep. And I was like, 2 years ago, you need to go ahead and do it. Right? And I was like, go, you know me, I'm an entrepreneur. I believe in entrepreneurship. I'm like, do it.
Right.
And everybody has their time, but I believe in God's perfect timing for you.
Exactly.
And so tell people, what are you're sitting here today as what?
As a full-time entrepreneur
And it's so fresh. It's so new.
Yes.
It's so surreal right now, to be honest. But I'm so glad I said yes.
It
really
is.
It's
such a
so
God
right.
dream, such a God thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so beautiful as friends, but also as sisters in Christ to know that this was God's timing for you. And I just want y'all to like state this episode, like mark it in the like on your time capsule, and then come back to like a year from now and just see where Tonya is, because she's gonna be on billboards. She's gonna be all over the world. She's gonna be speaking at Essence. Like I am decreeing and declaring this, but I also see it over your life.
Believe it.
And so I'm so excited for what God is about to do with you. And so thank you for being an inspiration and then also just being consistent with what you said you was going to do. Yeah. Like, you know, some people talk about it, but you about it. You do it. Yep. And that really inspired me. So we're going to get right into it, because this episode today is about Black SEL and the Black Crown. And this was so important for me to include Tonya in this series that we were talking about with Black SEL and all different experts, because first of all, sis is not just a natural hair care, and no shade to the natural hair care people out here that made it work to figure it out, because we love y'all too, right? But sis is actually like a biology major. It was a chemistry major, like, and was whipping up, like, for real, whipping up formulas, like X to the Y to the Y to the T. I don't even know. All of that, right? Like Y2 to plus Y. I don't know. I don't know the formulas, but she does, and we're gonna get into that today. Yeah. But it's like, I was never good in chemistry. You know what? I don't even think I had real opportunities to do that in school, now I think about it. But like for Black women, that wasn't a real option for us. Wasn't. You know, and so that's the first thing. Like, tell us how you got into that.
Yeah, so it's so funny because I got into chemistry because I was good at it in high school. Now, at this time, I knew nothing about cosmetic chemistry, like none of that. It wasn't until like my junior year of college, thinking I'm going to become a pharmacist. I'm going to get my PharmD. Everybody was getting it. But then it was my junior year, I realized I'm not really passionate about becoming a pharmacist.
Wow.
During that time, YouTube was starting to get bigger, and beauty enthusiasts were going on live and just on YouTube in general. And I realized, like, wait a minute, like hair care and chemistry, they go together. Yeah. So it made sense at that point. And then I discovered the whole field of cosmetic chemistry and just you need chemistry to create hair care products, skincare products. So it literally just aligned perfectly. So
that's God too.
That is. Exactly.
That's God too, because it's like, who would have thought?
Right.
Like, who would have thought? And I don't even think that Black women, like, even when you first started, I don't think it was like a big thing. I mean, now, granted, we think of, and I can't even think of the name right now, but all of our Black historic greats that whipped up perms and like, you know, that was chemistry.
For sure.
You know, like greases and oils, and all that was chemistry. They just didn't have a name for it.
Exactly.
You know? And so it's so empowering to see like the work that they did, and then to see the fruit of that, right? Through our ancestors and all the work that they've actually done before us.
Absolutely.
All people have always done something before us. We just have to do our research and history, right? So before we really jump into everything we're about to get on today, I want you to tell me, what are some stigmas with women in Black hair? Yeah. Just what are some stigmas? Because I'm going through my own journey right now, and I know you're an expert in natural hair, but what are just some obvious stigmas? Or not even obvious? You might be educating us right now on this.
Yeah. So some common stigmas that I've seen. So I've seen stigmas with the world on the outside looking in, and then also women who are going through this journey, because it really is a journey.
Absolutely.
You know, so some of the stigmas from the world looking in is it's unprofessional, it's unruly, it's unkept. Now, for women in this journey, it's too difficult, it's too hard, it's too unmanageable. You know, so those are some of the stigmas that we see on a daily basis. So part of my goal with Curly Chemistry is to break apart these stigmas, you know, like even like with the world looking from the outside in, like who made up these stigmas? Who said that if your hair is curly or kinky or coily, that's unruly or unkept? Like who?
White supremacy. For real, let's talk about it.
Right.
So let's talk about it, because I gotta lean back real quick.
Okay,
This has been a thing for me, and this is like just I've been waiting for this episode. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I go through this phase of cutting my hair off, then growing it out, and my hair grows really quickly, and then I'll cut it off again. I'll perm it. You know, grow it out again. Then I'm like, I want to cut it off and be natural again. So now I am in my phase of natural again, right? Don't know how long this phase is going to last. However, I believe in this phase this time. Before, I felt like it was like I needed to do it for me, for like an act of liberation. I believe I am beautiful, but it's something about cutting your hair off and starting from the beginning that is like a different type of beauty. Yeah,
it's a reset.
It's a reset. And I wanted to do that for myself. Now, your girl got a wedding coming up, and I'm about to get married, and I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? So I mean, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes I'm gonna say, sometimes I walk in the mirror, and I'm like, ooh, who is she? You know? And the other times I'll be like, who is she? Oh my God. You know, like, what did you do to yourself?
Right.
But it's literally these social constructs that were presented to us to make us feel that our hair type has to be a certain way. If it does not look that way, we look out of place. We look unworthy, or we feel unworthy, unprofessional. And so like, I want to know, like, with my, what encouragement just like would you give someone in my place, right? And we'll talk about like all the things I need to do for my hair and all that, but like, what would you say to me, like, if I came to your page and I'm this new girl who just cut off her hair, feels liberated, and sees all these wonderful videos that you have, because you have so many videos where you're educating and I feel like, you know, this is such an act of liberation, because you are educating, majority of your people here are Black. These are Black women. And so this is an act of activist, is an act of social justice. I want you to look at this in a totally different lens, because you're doing some phenomenal work that you probably don't want to call yourself these things, but you are uplifting the Black woman and her Black crown. And so what would you tell a me that is coming to your site, just shave my hair off? What would you even say? Or would you say, like, watch this video first? Or would you just want to speak to me?
I mean, I would say, number one, it has to come from within. Like, you have to know who you are. I think that's a big part of it, because it goes even outside of hair, down to, you know, what you do and how you dress. If you don't know who you are, you're going to get lost in the world's opinions of you. So number one, know who you are. Embrace your hair, love your hair. And one thing I think, the biggest thing I would say, is that it's a journey and it's a relationship. You know? So in this journey, get to know your hair. And I always tell people, like, your hair is constantly talking to you. Just sometimes we just don't understand the language. That's a book, by the way.
That's a book.
Okay.
Are you making that a book? Oh my God. Because that's amazing.
Because our hair talks to us.
Because my hair be talking to me all the time. We're like, I need some water. I need some oil. Like, do something.
But think about it. Our hair is like a flower. It's like a plant. If you have a flower and it's blooming, it's flourishing, it's going to be bright and, you know, but if it's like been like no water, it will turn dry, it's going to start, you know what I'm saying? So the same thing applies to our hair as well. So I would say, number one, know who you are, love who you are, love your hair, because it's of you, it came from you. I even want to go deeper and say your hair is a gift from God. I mean, the Bible even says how our hair is glory. You know, like, for him to be so specific about that, like, it has to have some significance and importance. You got to change your view of it. So that's number one. Then number two, realize that it's a journey. And get to know your hair. Get to know what it loves, what it doesn't love. You know, what it needs, when it needs it. You know. And I will also go in to say, don't compare yourself. Don't compare your hair journey to anybody.
Listen, that comparison syndrome is real.
It's real, especially when you're starting off and you see some girls saying, you know, I shaved my hair off a month ago and now my hair is down to my butt. Like, it's so easy to be like, well, how come my hair's not growing that fast? And the next thing you know, you're discouraged in your own journey and ready to give up.
That's true.
You can't compare yourself. This is your journey. This is your lane. Embrace it.
And you know, you just touched on a plethora of social emotional skills, and one of them is just like the key to self-awareness, right? We have these 5 competencies that we focus on in SEL, and one of them is self-awareness, and underneath that domain lies so many incredible skills that we have to learn in order to be self-aware. And a part of self-awareness is learning how to build a healthy identity.
That's good.
And if you are not constantly identifying your emotions, you're really going to be lost because you're not acknowledging exactly how you feel. And so for me, even when I have days where I don't feel good about my hair, I acknowledge it. I write it down. I let myself know, because if I don't, I'm not true to what I feel. Even if I affirm myself and all those things, it's literally about identifying the emotion in the moment, right? And then there is an act of, self-confidence. Where is the self-confidence coming from? And when you're saying you got to know yourself, if you don't know yourself, you can't be confident. And a lot of times, one of my students, they ask me, "Miss Crystal, how do you show up in rooms and you're so confident?" And I always tell people it's because when you know your strengths and you know your limitations, you could walk in any place and be confident because you know what you're bringing to the table, right? And if you know what you're bringing to the table, you're gonna act as such, right? And you're gonna be confident in that. Even if you have a weakness, you know what your weakness is. Right. So you're also confident in that weakness that I can't do that thing, and I'm be honest with you that I can't do that thing. However, this is what I can do. And when we think about hair and how important hair is in our Black community, there are a lot of women that are deeply depressed and insecure, and like their characters are shifting and their identities are shifting or being misshaped because of hair. And like that is a real thing in our society, and how we look at ourselves, how we not only, and there's a big thing that I love, a big skill that I love in self-awareness is self-efficacy. And it really talks about evaluating our performance every day. Yes. So like when you you just told me something connect for me. When you told me hair is like a plant that you have to water. So if we are not watering our Black crown, that's a part of us practicing self-efficacy, is evaluating our performance. Our performance could be as a boss. It could be as a sister, a brother, a friend. It can also be as someone that's nurturing and taking care of our hair. So if we're looking at our performance and saying, I haven't put no oil in my hair today. I haven't washed my hair in 5 days. I haven't watered my scalp. I haven't treated my scalp. What am I truly doing to protect my Black crown, to nourish my Black crown, and to appreciate the glory?
The glory.
That's like,
I know. That
just did a thing for me, because I will say, as a very busy millennial, that has businesses and Lord willing will have kids someday, and I don't have them now. So I'm like, Lord, how does that even look, right? With the balance, because I'm already feeling like super busy, but like to not have my hair as a priority is like kind of crazy. Because you don't think about that sometimes. It's like, I mean, I when I had perms, I'm going to say hairdresser every 2 weeks. Boom, I can maintain until I go to her 2 weeks. Now with my natural hair, it ain't no going to you 2 weeks. Like I could be if I found a natural hair stylist, but I'm not. Because I can maintain this on my own, or so I think I can, right? But I know it's like this journey of finding your products and figuring it out. So I feel like as we reflect on that, it just did something to me. But like, I want you to tell us, what are some tips to maintain like healthy hair as a Black woman? Because for me, like, and y'all, me and Tonya are friends in real life. So I've already hair up about my regimen, because, some days it could be moisturized, some days it could be dry. Don't put it on her, okay? Because we're coming together to get together. But like, tell me, how as Black women do we maintain our Black crown? What do we do?
Man, there's so much I could say. I would say a few things. Number one, scalp issues are so relevant right now. You'll realize that a lot of the beauty industry, especially like in the hair care sector, they're doing more like scalp products and scalp health, because it's really a thing. And in my opinion, in order for you to have healthier hair, it starts at the root. It starts with the scalp. So number one, I would say, if you can, try not to go longer than 3 weeks without washing your hair. Okay. And I know that sounds like a long time, but a lot of women do that. Especially. See,
now I have short hair. I've been washing my hair like every other day. Is that too much though?
I mean, it depends.
Okay. We'll talk. Okay. We'll talk. Okay.
We'll talk. But I mean, and I say I say that because you have women who wear like lace fronts for like 8 weeks straight.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then they take, you know, the install off and they have all this product build up. They have dandruff. They have like so many scalp inflammation and issues because they're not taking care of their scalp. And think about it, like your scalp is like your skin. Imagine going 8 weeks without showering. You're gonna have some problems.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with our scalp. I would say, like for me, like my regimen, I try to wash my hair at least once a week. At least once a week. You know? Of course, if you use like a lot of like edge control, you may need to like do twice a week or something like that. But I would not go longer than 3 weeks washing your hair. Number one. Number two, I would say be mindful of like manipulation when it comes to like tight braids. You know, like those type of styles.
For you.
Yeah. A lot of that causes a lot of scalp trauma. A lot of trauma to the scalp leading to traction alopecia. And that's where like when your hair pulls too much, especially like around the edges, you can damage the follicle. Like you can damage the scalp itself, and then now you can't grow hair back in that specific area.
Listen, wait, let's pause because I'm gonna tell y'all, I think I got a little trauma. I ain't gonna lie. So just no, for real, because I had my hair braided. Like this was pre-pandemic, and the braids were so tight. Like this is the first time I had got cornrows back in like since I was a little kid. The braid, I got the stupid lemonade braids. Okay, and they're cute. They cute. But however, somebody braided my hair. I ain't gonna mention no names because I love my black women. Okay, but I've been traumatized ever since because she braided my hair so tight that my edges literally pulling back, and I had to take the braids out 24 hours later. That to the point where I had to pop Tylenol. It ain't worth it, y'all. First of all, like we shouldn't be popping Tylenol. Well, we grew up that way though. We grew up that like when we used to like literally get our hair braided. It's like, oh, it's gonna hurt for a little bit. You will be all right like the next day. And that's not normal. Right. And when I really she braided my hair recently as an adult, I was like, I'm not going through this type of pain. I refuse to pay $120 and be out here like can't move. And my scalp was red. So it traumatized me to the point where I lost my edges. And my edges were full, healthy. And that was a part of a like self-esteem issue for me. And it was to the point where I would have to comb my hair forward. Like all these things are little things that really affect us as Black women. And we have to do better as hairstylists too. Like don't be braiding like that. Like, you know, like that's trauma. We already got enough trauma as it is as a Black person. Please don't traumatize with the hair. So okay, keep going. I just wanted to tell you that because it's a real story for me. And I know that so many Black women can relate to that because it does something to our confidence. And it messes with our crown.
For sure. No, that makes sense. So I would say number two, you know, be careful of tight styles. Number three, I would say learn your moisture cycle. We all have a moisture cycle. Going back to our hair being like a flower, you gotta water it every so often. So when I say moisture cycle, meaning that is how long it takes for your hair to become dry again. So for me, my moisture cycle is two days. So I have to re-moisturize my hair every 2 days. For some women, it's every single day.
I feel like mine is every 2 hours. Stop being honest. My hair gets dry and I'm like, what is going on? But I also felt that I had like scalp problems. And that's why I told myself I was going to stop doing perms because I was having like some headaches in the back of my head. And I felt like I was having some scalp issues. So I really want to talk about that too because I feel like you said, everything could be cute and beautiful on the outside, but then when you go deeper in your hair, it's like, oh, you got real like scalp issues. You got real scabs. You got real, you know what I'm saying, that you're not taking care of. And when I shaved my hair off, I was able to really like be able to massage my scalp at night and really like treat my scalp. And don't know if I'm doing it the right way, so we'll talk. But I think it's a priority now for me, you know.
Definitely. So I would say definitely know your moisture cycle, and that can be for your scalp as well. You know, for someone with a dry scalp, There's a scalp serum that I told you about also called Pattern Scalp Serum. It's by Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yes. Okay.
And I love it because it has water within it, which is like the ultimate moisturizer. But then there's also aloe vera juice in there, super hydrating. There's vegetable glycerin, which is a humectant, so it's going to draw moisture into the scalp, into the hair, into the and the skin as well.
Yeah.
And there's also some tea tree oil and peppermint in there as well. So if there's any scalp itchiness from the dryness, that tea tree and peppermint helps to soothe that.
Wow.
So that's one product.
I need that.
I recommend that tremendously.
Shout out to Tracy Ellis Ross, because I heard her whole line is like that.
Yeah, she has some great products. Great products. So I would recommend that. I would say that's probably like number one for like moisturizing the scalp, and you can do it like throughout the day or whenever you feel like you need it. I would say also for someone who suffers from like a really dry scalp, do like an aloe vera juice treatment like once a month. You can get like aloe vera juice from Whole Foods or anywhere, Vitamin Shop. There's a brand I love called Lily of the Desert. And I get the inner leaf. So there's like different kind, but you want to look for Lily of the Desert inner leaf. And you can get the gel or the juice itself, and just literally like take that if the gel's easier and just kind of massage that into the scalp. Put a shower cap on, leave it on for like 20 minutes. It's going to hydrate your scalp so good.
Oh, that's so good.
So I do recommend that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get these tonight.
Like
what time of beauty supply? Right. 7? Okay, I'm there.
Yes, I would recommend that. And then for people who suffer with like dandruff, which is also a big thing as well, tea tree oil is amazing for that. And you can just add like a little bit of tea tree oil to like some jojoba oil, mix that up, and add that to the scalp as well. Just really just love on your scalp, give it what it needs, be consistent with it, and you're going to see results with it.
Yeah, so it's like funny because I'm listening to all these things and this is super raw and like impromptu, like we have not rehearsed none of this, y'all, and I'm saying this because I'm literally thinking of how social emotional learning is so intertwined with this, because like as a competency of like responsible decision making, right? Responsible decision making was always presented to us as common sense. Like you should know when you're making a responsible decision, you should know when you're not. But responsible decision making is actually a skill. And it's like a 5-part skill. And a part of it is like, the first part is identifying the problem, right? What is the problem? And then analyzing the situation, finding the solution, and then reflecting on that solution, and then asking yourself, is that the best ethical decision that you could have made, right? And a lot of times as Black people, we just out here making decisions, right? Sure. And sometimes we don't acknowledge our patterns of our decisions. And so when I first went into this natural hair game, like 2017, when I tell you I was all in, like my curls were juicy, and I don't know what I did. I don't remember, like, because it was a while ago. But I realized that this is still in my personal life, as my hair is a personal thing, right? Yeah. It's a responsible decision for me to make daily, to commit to looking for these products, commit to moisturizing my hair, commit to loving my hair, right? And getting into understanding what hair type I have and being okay with that, right? Whatever hair type that is. Because sometimes we get, like you said, we start comparing ourselves and like, my hair don't look like that, or my hair curl like that, or my hair don't slick down like that. And that's not what the hair that God gave you, sis. So it's like, you gotta be bold and confident in the hair that God gave you. But that responsible decision making skill is real, because like you took a time out in your career to say there's a problem and I want to fix the gap of this problem. There's people that are educating on natural hair, but they're not telling you the actual chemistry behind the products that they're using in their hair and why they should use these products. That's why so many people have drawn to you, because you're an expert in this. But in order for your followers to really do these things, they have to make the decision.
Yeah, they have to.
The choice, the decision to say, I'm going to not only listen to Tonya's advice, I'm actually going to execute on what she's telling me, and be consistent with it. And that's self-management, is that discipline, right? Like understanding that I'm not just going to moisturize my hair once a week or whatever, I'm going to do it consistently, so that that it shines throughout. I'm feeling it. I'm not feeling dry. Like these are things in our own personal life that we have to just continue to practice, right? Exactly. And so I want you to tell us a little bit about like how can Black women love their natural hair?
I would say, number one, it kind of goes back to what I said before, just getting to know your hair and looking at it as a relationship. Because it's like, for example, when you meet someone new, you don't love them off the bat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, okay,
I'm love.
You know what I'm saying? But you get to know them and you get to know what they like and what they don't like, their quirks, what makes, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, you know what?
Right. You might be my type. Right. Exactly. I might have a thing for you.
Exactly. So it's the same thing with our hair. Like, how do you love your hair? You get to know it. You know, you get personal with it. You start to listen to it. And then before you know it, because you're listening to it, you're like, oh, wait, it's starting to grow. Yep. Oh, snap, it's getting softer. You're like, softer. You know, and before you know it, it's like, I love my hair because you went along the journey. I think a lot of women, sometimes we give up too soon. Yeah, too soon. And we want results like that. The same thing with hair growth vitamins and hair growth oils. Like, we quick to try it for like 5 days, and then when we don't see 2 inches of growth, we're like, this don't work. I'm done. I'm gonna leave on.
Shout out to all the Black women that have literally been in the natural hair community for 5 days and said, this is not for me. Right. And jumped out. But y'all gotta try it again. Y'all gotta stay consistent.
Yes, consistency is key. And I know it sounds so cliche, but really consistency is key. Yeah. And when you take this journey, you get to learn your hair, understand your hair, and then it's like the love grows for it. And it's also a little bit of self-acceptance too. Yeah. Like, this is me.
This is who I literally am, like authentically am. These are no chemicals. This is no extensions. Yeah. This is none of that. This is really authentically who I am, who God designed me to be. Right. And nothing is wrong with those things, but I think it's really good for women to see themselves truly, like in the true reflection of what God has like created, you know? Yeah. And I think that's why it's so liberating to me when I do go natural, because I'm like, dang, this is really me, like without no firm, without no process, like, God, you made me like this, you know? And, you know, I might have a little color or something, like a little splash or something, but I feel like it's really like, just you find a new like lane to your confidence. You find a new voice to who you are. And also with me, like, I mean, I'm doing a lot of activist work and, you know, advocating for Black people in the social emotional space and, you know, currently doing a lot of anti-racist work. And for me, I think it's important to really be authentic in that space as I'm learning and studying and growing and researching to just practice that in my own life. And so I didn't want to be someone that was on this platform that wasn't they're practicing all of these things in their own life. I never could be that person. Even when every time I speak, I'm always telling people, SEL is all up in your business. You can't do this work if you don't know yourself, right? And you have to understand how this work defines your character, right? Just like your hair. I wouldn't say it defines your character, but it does almost, because when you look at someone's hair, you like, they take good care of their hair. Right. You know when somebody is taking care of their hair. You know when they are loving their hair and taking the time to nurture their hair. And that's something I think I'm still working on, you know, and I believe that's like a goal of mine, you know, for the end of the year, is to really treat like natural hair in my crown, just as I treat every aspect of SEL in my own life. Like hair is SEL too. Yeah, it is. And so this is good. Okay. So what advice do you have for Black women wanting to be more confident wearing their natural hair in corporate settings? Because sis, I haven't been in corporate since like what, 2011. I had one corporate job that I absolutely loved, but haven't been in corporate, so I don't really know these conversations. So, and I know you have been. So like talk to the women about these women that like feel so liberated about their froze, but then they go into corporate and they're like dumbed down or they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. So I would say number one, going back to just really having that confidence. Yeah. Number one. Then number two, well, it's also part of number one too. Yeah. But you really can't care what these people think. Because whether you wear your hair relaxed, natural, cornrows,
they
whatever, they will always have something to say. There will always be an opinion, always. So once you get over that, it's kind of like, okay, well, no matter what I do, someone's gonna have an opinion,
right?
You know. So I would say number one, just don't care what people think. If it makes you happy, do that thing. Do that thing. Number two, I would say, find a style that makes you feel good. Find a style that fits you. Not all hairstyles work for me,
right?
You know, and I'm okay with that. So once again, in this journey of exploration, you're learning, you know, oh, I kind of like when I do a braid out, or I like when I have my, you know, like a top bun, you know, that makes me feel good. So finding that style that works for you. And then number three, I would say practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the more you step out in that courage and that boldness that's deep within you. Before you know it, you walk up in there like, yes, I'm natural.
Hello.
And what? And what?
This is who I am. I'm black and I'm proud.
Exactly.
Say it again. I'm light skinned. My mom told me that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, but I love that. Yeah. So I think that like being able to understand like how our hair does define us in a sense, right? Especially our crown. I think that using the word crown is so important, for Black women. Sure. I think we don't look at our hair as our crown a lot of times, and I think we need to because it is a place of our glory. And I also feel like our hair is like just kind of covering God's goodness of our, like, it's protecting our thoughts. It's protecting the ideas. It's like even if we were, if like, you know, when your idea comes out of your mouth, like your thought, like it's like comes to you and you're like, oh, okay, this is it. It's like, I feel like our hair could feel that. Like, oh, there goes another idea. I'm going to grow. You know, like seriously, like it's like, it's the first thing that kind of feels a thought, you know, maybe, I don't know. But I feel like that's really dope to think about it that way. So I really enjoy like being able to understand myself more through my natural hair. This has been great. I mean, I have so much that I want to talk to Tonya about after this episode because of the fact that I need to know all the regiments and all those things. And then next time y'all gonna see me, I'm gonna be like shiny hair. I'll be all over here like, yes, I made a responsible decision to moisturize my hair all day, every day. Okay. So like, I want you to leave us with, first of all, I want to go back real quick. Okay. You are now a full-time entrepreneur. Yes. And in your field as an expert, there's always been things that you're like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. And what would you encourage someone today just on maybe what you've maybe overcome in the last 3-4 weeks? Like, you know, what have you overcome that you feel can just help someone today, you know? Yeah.
It's going to sound kind of crazy, but I think what has helped me overcome, number one, is self-doubt. Doubting
that imposter syndrome is real.
It's so real.
It's real.
Who do you think you are? Leaving your full-time job,
right?
Benefits.
Are you gonna make more money? Are you gonna is you gonna make it out? Like, you don't know everything. You don't know business stuff. It's just all of those devil
those
attacks.
Thoughts. Yeah, exactly. So
it's dangers of the mind.
Yes, exactly. So I think for me, it's just having that. You got to talk good to yourself. You have to be nice to yourself. You know, so when you're hearing, oh, you can't do this, you have to shut it down immediately. Like, really think about what you're thinking about. Yeah. You know, like, don't just
think about what you're thinking about.
Don't let just thoughts just ramble. And then next thing you know, they become roots.
Absolutely.
And then now it's just like in your life. And now, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, think about what you're thinking about to help overcome self-doubt and realize that you got the juice. Like, I had to tell myself, like I got the juice. Like, I built this platform by the grace of God. Yes. He ain't gonna leave me.
Never.
I mean, the doors are opening and I'm seeing it open. So it's just stepping out on faith, letting go of self-doubt, and know that you got the juice.
Yes. But I love that. But ladies and gentlemen, because there are probably some gentlemen in here, but what do you have anything for men to moisturize their beards? Like, what would you say? If
I would say, okay, for men, I would say, if you can get your hands on like some rose water, if you don't mind that, if you don't like the smell, you can add like some cedarwood essential oil, make it more manly. But rose water, like spray that. You can get that from Whole Foods. Okay. A little drop of like a jojoba oil or any type of oil, and just kind of to seal that moisture in. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
see, man, we had something for y'all too. Okay, we didn't leave y'all out, and we're gonna tell that to Josh.
Okay.
Duly noted. So I'm so excited for you to join us today.
Yes.
This has been a really good eye-opening episode for me because sometimes we don't look at hair as like something that we're supposed to do it. It's very big in our community.
Sure.
We know it's like we don't play around with our hair. That's something we don't play around with. But when it comes to natural hair, and this could be just me, y'all, but when it comes to natural hair, it's not like it's a maintenance because it's more of a maintenance, but it's like you don't take it as serious as like your sew-ins or your and when you're outside of the community.
Right.
When you inside the community, that community is serious, y'all. I know. So my sister was telling me like that when I told her I was like leaving the natural hair community. She literally like cut me off for like 4 days. She was like, I'm not talking to you. Like my sister's been natural for like 15 years. So she was serious about that thing. Like there's some natural people that are like very serious about this natural hair life, and they're like, why are you going back? Like, why did you and then other people are like, it's not that serious. Like, repair my hair and I'll be fine. So I want to like clear that up because I didn't want to say like, but from my mentality, coming from the perm life and being permed most of my life, adult life, and I got a perm at an early age too. So that actually shaped me to feel like I need perms, that my hair needed the perm. But I had beautiful long hair growing up. But I felt like that when I got into this community, it was like, oh, I could go to natural hairstylists when my hair gets longer, or I could go or I could not. I could maintain myself. And a lot of times people get into the natural hair community because it actually is cheaper once you start getting used to it, because it does cost a lot of money to go to the hairdresser. And that's a benefit, which I'm excited about, is not spending so much. But I feel like I don't take it as serious as I do my profession. Or as I do like my personal relationships, but this is a part of me.
It's part of you.
It's a part of me,
and it's like one of the first things people see when they meet you.
It's the first thing people see, and I was so serious about it with my permed hair. Like my cuts would be precise and boom, boom, boom. And of course, like I'm learning my hair and I'm loving it, and I know it's like the first thing that people see. But do I care for it as much now that I know I actually have to put in the work? I just can't go and have somebody do my hair. That's the difference, and that's where Black SEL is. We got to realize that SEL is in everything we do. Everything we do. Like, this is discipline right here. This is like time management, managing time to set aside to do my hair at night.
Wow.
That's like, I'm like really having like a moment. Cause I'm like, whoa,
right.
I'm over here like, I'm modeling, I'm practicing all these skills. And then there's areas of my life, like my hair, that sis is like, maybe tomorrow I'll grease my scalp. Maybe, maybe the next day I'll wake up. Oh, I'll just like spray some stuff on it and get it curly and make it moisturized and go on. But the root of my scalp is like suffering. You know what I'm saying? And how many of us as women do that? And so when we think about SEL skills, they're in everything that we do, including our Black crown. And so I'm so excited to have you in this episode. You just like totally got me back on my Black hair journey, like, and being so hype about my Black crown.
Thank you
And
for
so I mean, there's tell the people where they can find you at, like, just let us know a little bit more about your platforms.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys can find me on YouTube at Curly Chemistry. I upload videos every Friday. Every week.
Every single Friday.
And I'm also on Instagram currently at Charmaine369, SHARMAINE369. So yeah, check me out.
Check her out. I'm so excited. And again, this is Black SEL. Blackity black. Blackity black. Thank you so much. See y'all next time.
Bye.